Hey, what's up? Yen here, and this is a first impression of the ND Venus single dynamic driver IEM, and this is amazing budget IEM. It's only at $7.50. Links in the description below if you're interested to find out more. So let's open this up and measure it and listen to it, and I'll show you guys what's in the box. It's not gonna be much. It's a budget earphone anyway, but $7.50. The value of this is the price. It's not so much on the packaging and the accessories, I assume. There's some specs at the back here, so let me just read that out to you. Sensitivity is 105. Frequency range is 20 to 40,000 hertz, and impedance is 26 ohms. Alright, so let's see what's inside. I think this is the black. Yeah, this is the black version. There's a few colors. They have the crystal, which is clear, and black, green, and blue. So this is the black. There you go. Let's take all this out from the box. Okay. Alright. Accessories. Ooh. There you go. Cable, ear tips, user guide, the usual, warranty card. Okay, and let's take a look at the cable. Ear tips first, maybe. There's already an ear tip on the earphone, so I'm sure that's the M size. Let's see what other sizes they have available. I'm sure it's just large and small, if it comes out. Okay, so ear tips, very stock ear tips. As you can see, nothing special about the ear tips, but it's stock. $7.50. What do you expect, right? So those are the ear tips. Let's take a look at the cable. This is stock cable, pretty much generic 2-core cable. I'm not gonna go through that cable. Let's take a look at the IEM. Again, this is a plasticky feel to it that is not resin. I think it's not resin. Doesn't feel like it. It feels like plastic. Maybe on the inner shell is resin, but on the faceplate feels like plastic. It's got a pretty unique lip right at the top here, but yeah. So it's got this cogs design on it with the ND logo on the faceplate. 2-pin connector, QDC style, as you can see on the cable. Yeah, pretty standard connection. Nozzle is built in with paper filter. Okay, 2-pin connector. Alright, so let's measure this. First, let's connect it to the cable, and let's see how it looks like on the graph. Okay, so let's go to the computer. Alright, so now let's calibrate the IEM. Alright, make sure it's 85 dB. So let's go to my settings. I think the sensitivity of the earphone is a bit too much, so let's just reduce it a little bit. 27. My target is 32. So let's try to reduce the output as well. 29. That's very good. Let's bring the mic down a little bit more. 86, 30. volume as well, 32. Okay, so we're roughly there. There you go. All right, so 31.97. So let's calibrate that. Okay, let's go to my generator and pause the pink noise. All right, now we can measure. So this is the ND Venus. Okay, let's check the levels first before I measure. 87 dB, very good. Let's begin. Alright, so this is the left side. Now let's take the left side out from the coupler and put the right side in. Okay, let's put the right side in. And now let's measure the right side. Check the levels. 87 dB, very good. Let's begin. Alright, channel matching is pretty alright. There's a little bit of, I don't know, hiccup somewhere around here. Not a biggie. Does it warrant a retest? I think yeah, it does. Maybe that's the first one. So let's try measuring it again. Alright, so I've measured it again. So I'm getting the same results. A little bit of a hiccup here. I'm not too sure what's happening. But yeah, so let's analyze the graph. So looking at this is more of a V-shaped base centric, sub-base centric type of IEM, close to base head, but yeah, it's a lot of sub-base here. And the glide to the mid base is alright. I would feel that it's a little bit bloated, right? Bass department is a little bit bloated, but some people like this kind of bloated bass. Mids are recessed, okay, and the peanut gain is quite standard. Let me just pull in my hum target and let's compare it with the hum target. See how it goes. There you go, hum target. Oh, let me normalize it first. Okay, I need to normalize it to the Hammond target so that we can compare. Smooth the line up. There you go. Second one. Let's move it up again. Alright, so now the frequencies are normalized to the Hammond target. So compared to the Hammond target, look at the amount of bass that this IEM has. And in terms of the lower mids, yeah, it's a lot of bass, a lot of mud here as well. But you know, some people like this, right? As for the mids, it's recessed to the point, maybe about 8,000 hertz. Okay, and the peanut gain is actually quite smooth, not very harsh or intense. It plateaus out maybe roughly about 2.5 kHz, and it plateaus out. And this is a very typical, curve that I'm seeing so far, whereby it just dips down roughly at about 5k hertz, 5,000 hertz. It starts to dip, and that's where you don't get that brilliance. But you do get a very smooth and tolerable treble. So treble wise, I would say it's tolerable with a little bit of brightness. It's not the brightest compared to the Hammond target, but of course, Hammond target, not everybody can tolerate the brightness of Hammond target. But yeah, it is what it is right now. Okay. All right, so let's now listen to this, okay, and I'm going to put it in my ear with its stock ear tips. So I'm hoping the stock ear tip is nice. Let's see. Let's try and pick the medium. There you go, mediums here. Stock ear tips feel a little bit soft, flimsy, I would say. Yeah. Alright, so let's plug it into my dongle and to my phone. Okay, let's fire up my usual song, test songs. Okay, first let's try the fit and the comfort. So I'm gonna put these into my ears. Okay, let's see. Pretty typical fit. Ear tips not giving me the seal. I mean, the shape of the IEM is pretty alright, but it's the ear tips that is kind of soft. Yeah. But for the test, I'll use their ear tips. Okay, so let's listen to Vegas El Bandito by Skidoo. Okay. Oh yeah. So I'm increasing the volume on my dongle. Let's try and get a seal. I'm not getting a seal. Okay, bass, sub bass on this is very extended. Very satisfying sub bass, and yeah, you can hear the bloat on the kick drums and the mid bass, and basically you hear a lot of the bass. It dominates the entire song. Though I can still hear my instruments, like the cowbells, the shakers and all that, but they seem recessed. The peanut gain of this is actually pretty alright, tolerable. And yeah, instruments are recessed. They are not as clean and clear, not as resolving. This earphones is not as resolving as other earphones that I've tried. Technical performance of this is alright. Soundstage is a little bit compressed and I would say intimate. So far, sound separation is alright. Not the best, but it's alright. Okay, I think I've heard enough. So now for $7.50, I would say this is decent for beginners. Yeah, but if you have an IEM collection, I would say this is not worth that $7.50 to add into your collection. But if you're a beginner, you have never tried an IEM before, you want to gradually transit from a beginner to maybe an intimate, maybe a rookie or something like that. This the IEM that you should try, because it does have bass that people like, right? That kind of sub bass, and the extension of the sub bass, the mid bass as well. The mids are recessed. Treble is actually quite tolerable. In fact, the gain to the treble is quite intense. It's not to a point whereby it's harsh. It's not harsh. It's actually quite intense, but pretty tolerable. There's no sibilance on this earphone as well. It's not sibilant. It doesn't give you that sharp sound for the treble. So basically a very tolerable treble, and overall a very smooth treble as well. That's a good thing, right? So for $7.50, I would recommend it to beginners. Yeah, very nice earphones. You can't go wrong with $7.50. Alright, so that's my very quick impressions of this ND Venus. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next first impression. Cheers.